Hello lovelies, welcome to today's tutorial, which is all about this beautiful trouser or pants with side pockets and ghetto line. I promise you that you get value in this tutorial. Let's dive right into it. Okay, I've gone ahead to fold my material into two. For the front part of the trouser, I'll be making use of trouser instead of pants. For the front part of the trouser, the measurement for the trouser is on the screen. Okay, I folded it, but while folding it, there is something that you have to consider. That is the round tie. The round tie, you divide it by two. What you have is 16 inches. You place that 16 at the tip. Look at where I place it. At the tip, where you consider the tip of the trouser, is where you place the 16 inches mark. Then you mark it. After marking it, then you divide that 16 inches further into two. That is dividing the 32 inches into 4. Then you get 8. Then look at how I marked it. Then you now mark that 8 inches. 16 inches is still at the tip. Then you mark the 8 inches. This is called the ghetto line. That middle 8 inches is called the ghetto line. That is why you iron trouser, you see that line on that trouser. If you don't cut it like this, you will not get that line. And that is how most men cut their trouser, and I love it. It's very, very beautiful. Okay. Sorry about that. Before we continue, let's get the length of the trouser, because I want this selvage part to be the down part of the trouser. The length of the trouser is 44 inches plus 2 inches sewing allowance, which is hemming allowance, sorry, which is 46 inches. I'm marking it. After marking it, I'll turn my tape. Then I mark the allowance at the down part where I want to use as the down part of the trouser. Please watch this video carefully. I promise you're going to get value from this video. Okay, I've done my tape. This is the hem, which is 46. Then you mark out the 2 inches hemming allowance to have 44 inches, the normal trouser length. Look at my screen, you'll see the measurement: trouser length 44, hip 48, round thigh 32, round knee 24, and round leg 16 inches. After you might have gotten this, you now place your tape and mark that 16 8 inches. Remember, from the tip you mark 8 inches the middle, then 16 inches at that point. Make sure you mark it from the down of the trouser to the upper part of the trouser. Don't leave any part open. So after marking that, you now have to get your hip measurement. Hip measurement is 48 inches. 48 divided by 4 is 12 inches. 12 inches. That is how we are going to get our crotch line. There are different ways of getting the crotch measurement, crotch depth, but this crotch method is the best for me. Dividing the hip by 4 will give you the crotch length, which is 12 inches in this case. I've gone ahead to mark the 12 inches for the for the crotch depth, sorry, for the crotch depth or the crotch line. That is what I'm marking. Some sit on a hard surface and measure from their waist down to that hard surface. But this one, just divide your hip, you will get it. And it's always accurate. You can use it. Okay. Then how to get the hip line is 2 inches above the crotch depth. 2 inches above the crotch depth, which is now in this case 10 inches. Remember, the hip divided by 4 is 12 inches. So when you go up by 2 inches, it will now be 10 inches. That is your hip line. That is what I just marked. Now, the person's knee length is 22 inches from the waist. That is what I'm marking. Remember, the owner of this trouser is pregnant, so I'm not removing anything. There is no band. I will just fold the upper part and add rope to it. It's not going to have zipper or elastic. It's just rope. Okay, so after that, what we're going to do is to construct our crotch curve. So in order for us to construct our crotch curve, you have to divide that hip measurement that you divided by 4, which is 12 inches. After dividing it, I crave your indulgence, please add half an inch to it. Half an inch to it, just for ease. So that you mark it from that crotch line straight up to the waist line. 12 and a half, that is the hip divided by 4. plus half an inch. That is all. But you can do only 12 inch without adding half inch. It depends on what you want, but I prefer it that way. So after marking it, to get the curve, how you are going to curve your crotch, you will divide that 12 inches that we did to get the crotch length, divide it by 2, you will get 6 inches. That 6 inches, you will mark it, then diagonally place your tape and mark 1 inch and curve it. Watch carefully, you understand. Mark 1 inch diagonally and curve it down to that place that we mark our 16 inches. That is how to get the trouser curve, the crotch curve, sorry. It's very, very easy to make. Just watch carefully, you will understand what I'm doing. Let me just cut it off and place and turn it so that you'll be seeing what I'm doing. Let me just turn it and expatiate on it. Please watch carefully. Look at that crotch depth. Let me do it again. The crotch depth is 12 inches. You mark it the straight line, then you go up by 2 inches to get the hip measurement. You mark the hip measurement, which is 10 inches. You mark it. Watch carefully. That is what I'm doing. I'm trying to show you again so that you understand. Okay, after doing this, what we are going to do is to get how to curve our crotch, how to curve it. Then what you're going to do, after measuring that 12 inches, you divide your hip and measure. Divide your hip. What you have is 12 inches, then you add half inch, which is 12 and half inch. Look at it. Look at that 12 and half inch. You keep it and mark it all the way to the waist. Then you divide that initial 12 inches, the crotch depth, divide it by 2 and mark it. That is where your curve will start from. Divide it by 2 and mark it. So watch carefully, you will see what I'm doing. Then you divide that 12 inch, mark it. Then diagonally place your tape on the crotch depth. On that place, diagonally place it. Mark 1 inch. Look at it. Mark 1 inch. Then curve from there. Enter that 1 inch mark and straight to that 16 inches by the side. Look at it. Very, very easy. So I pray that you understand it. But if you don't understand, because my chalk is not all that visible, while cutting it, watch carefully, you will understand what I just did. Okay, so we are done with the crotch curve. We're going to divide the knee measurement. The knee measurement is 24 inches divided by 2 divided by 4. Remember, we are dividing by 4. Divided by 4 is 6 inches. So what you have to do is to make sure that that 6 inches mark is on that ghetto line. You place it, divide it, but that 6 inches, place it on that ghetto line. Make sure that your measurement is starting from that ghetto line, so that what you have on the left side is exactly what you have on the right side. Place it on the ghetto line. Then you mark the 6 inches on the left side and mark the other 6 inches on the right side, so that you have equal measurements at the both sides. That is the essence of that ghetto line, so that when you iron it, you see that line will pop up. Okay, now let's go to the down part of the trouser, which is the down part of the trouser is 16 inches. The round leg is 16 inches. Okay, remember, 16 inches divided by 2 is 8 inches. 8 inches further divided by 2 is 4 inches. That is, dividing 16 by 4 is 4 inches. Okay, then when you get to the down part of the trouser, also do the same thing. Place that 4 inches mark on that ghetto line. Make sure that your measurement starts on that ghetto line, that middle line that we drew when we were marking the folding the trouser. Then place it there. Mark 4 inches this side and another 4 inches the other side. Then you connect with your ruler. Slant your hand, connect from that down part to the crotch curve, to the knee length. Okay, to the knee line, then from that knee line to the crotch curve. Sorry about that. Okay, so after connecting it, make sure you connect the other part also. Connect the other part also carefully from that round leg measurement to the round knee, from the round knee to the hip measurement, and connect. We're not going to shape it. It's not going to have any shapy effect there, but after sewing it, you'll see the fitting will pop out. That is how it's supposed to be. Okay, make sure that you mark your markings are visible, that you understand what you're doing and what you're cutting. But watch carefully. If you don't understand what I just did while cutting it, I promise you that you understand. Follow how I'm cutting it, you understand what I just did. Okay, let me cut it out so that you see and understand what I just did. Okay. Okay, I hope you got what I hope you got what I showed you. Okay, then we are going to fold for the hey, there is one important thing. It's very necessary for the curvy effect of our waist. Mark out 1 inch at the crotch part of the trouser and slant it to the side. Mark out 1 inch at the crotch part of the front trouser and slant it to the side, because our waist is slanted from the side to the front. The back of the trouser will be higher than that of the front, remember. But I'm not going to cut this out. After drafting the back, I'll place it and cut it out so that you understand what I just did. Okay, after, yes, drafting the back, I'll cut it out and you understand. Don't cut it yet so that it will not confuse you. Okay, so I'm folding. I've gone ahead to fold for the back. Remember, very important, very necessary, while folding for the back trouser, make sure that vertically the trouser is greater, the back is greater with 3 inches, as in to the front is greater than the front with 3 inches, and lengthwise is higher by 1 inch. Look at it, that 3 inches, it should be greater with 3 inches at the crotch part, and the lengthwise it should be higher with 1 inch. Make sure, please, it's very necessary. Remember, we not add any allowance in the front while drafting it. All the allowances is going to situate at the back part of it. Okay, from here you mark 2 inches, 2 inches from the upper part of the crotch, 2 inches, 2 inches, 2 inches. When you get to that crotch depth, that crotch curve, the tip of the crotch, you mark 3 inches. Then from the knee line you mark 2.5 inch and start going down 2.5, 2 inch straight down. 2 inch, you should not go below 2 inch. At a 2.5, then 2.5, then when you get to the down part you do 2 inch and you connect it. Okay, remember the other side, the side of the trouser, we're not going to add anything. We are just going to cut it like that. We're not adding anything, but by the side, by the crotch side, we added from the top of the crotch to 2 inch. Then the depth of the crotch, we added 3 inch, and the knee line we added 2.5 and 2 inch straight down. Then you connect it with a curve. Remember the 2 inch, look at it, 3 inch, this place 2.5, and there the other part 2 inch. Okay, remember the tip of the trouser, the upper part, you are going to mark 1 inch. 1 inch, it should be 1 inch higher than the front part. Then you slant it straight down to the side. 1 inch higher, slant it straight down to the side, because the sides are always equal, but the back is higher with 1 inch to the front, and the front goes down by 1 inch to have that curvy effect. Let me cut out that 1 inch that I marked initially. Remember, I'm cutting only the front, I'm not touching the back. Carefully cut it out. Look at it. If you check your trouser, you see this effect that I'm telling you. It's always curvy. Then that is it. Okay, so I'm going to cut everything out, follow my markings and cut them carefully. Cut out. Okay, now this is very, very important. What I'm going to show you, you fold your trouser from the tip. To avoid while joining it, you'll be dragging it so that the back and the front will be equal. Fold it and check if the crotch, both of the crotch, front and back crotch is equal. In this case, they are not equal. So you make your mark out where the front part stop. It's always the back that has this effect. So you mark on it, turn it and cut it out so that both the front curve and the back curve will be equal, so that while joining it, you will not be dragging the front so that it will be equal with the back. No, equal to the back, sorry. So just cut it out like I'm doing. After cutting it out, you still remeasure it again, you still fold it again to be sure that they are equal. That is why while sewing it, you will not have any problem. We'll just sew and the thing will just align on its own. After cutting it out now, I'm going to fold it back. I'm folding it to be sure that they are equal. As you can see, they are equal at the tip. Very, very equal. Now that part is gone. So now we want to work on the front part of the trouser that will have the pockets. Okay, remember this trouser is not going to carry that because of the person is pregnant, so we are using rope. Now you mark 2 inch for the pocket, 2 inch or to 2.5 inch. Then here lengthwise you mark 7 inches, 2 inch, 7 inches. Then you keep it aside. You can mark it slant the mark from the 2 inches mark vertically to the 7 inches mark horizontally. Connect them with your ruler. Please watch carefully, you will understand what I'm saying. You connect with your ruler. After connecting it, you keep it aside. You bring out your fabric that you're going to fold for the pocket. Okay, I've gone ahead, I've folded it. Lengthwise is 12 inches. Then you mark out 7 inches vertically. 7 inches vertically and 12 inches horizontally. Mark them out down. Then at the tip, you curve it. Okay, watch carefully what I'm doing, you will understand it. After this, I'll open it up and show you how it is. What I have here is two pieces. Two pieces unfold. They are folded. They are folded together. Look at the shape of it. Remember, vertically 7 inches, horizontally 12 inches. Okay, and then you open it up. Remember, while cutting it is front facing front, front facing front. Okay, then we are going to place the front part of the trouser where we marked on it in order to cut out that effect on it. But look at it, make sure it's front facing front. Look at it, unfold. Look at the trouser. Lengthwise 12 inches, vertically 7 inches. Let me show you so that you will not be confused. That is it. Okay, so you open them up, front facing front. The back part of the material will be up and down, but the inner part of it, the front facing front, place it like that. Then you place that tip that you marked. Make sure it aligns, the front trouser and the pocket. Make sure they align. Then you cut out following that marking that you made on it. Cut it out. Carefully cut it out. Remember that this is chiffon fabric, so it will not go and move. Okay, after cutting it, look at that effect. Very important, please fold back and make notches. Fold back and notch the midpoint, the upper midpoint and the lower midpoint. Very important. Then we are done with it. Let me show you how to attach it to your trouser. Okay, watch carefully. You understand what I'm doing. You may not understand what I'm saying, sorry about that, but if you watch the video carefully, you will understand what I'm doing. Okay, look at the pocket. You bring it out, you place it. Make sure the front of the pocket and the front of the trouser are facing each other. Then front facing each other, then you run a straight stitch down. That place that you cut, run a straight stitch. Do the same to this side and the other side. Let me do it, come back and show you. Okay, I've gone ahead to stitch it down, and this is how it's looking. This is it. Okay, what you're going to do is to go and top stitch on it. You push that allowance to the pocket side and top stitch. Push to the pocket side and top stitch, not the trouser part, the pocket side. Yes, push to the pocket side, then you top stitch on it, on this one and on the other part. No, let me go and do it, then I'll come back and show you. You do the same to the both pockets. As you're sewing for the left, you're sewing for the right. Don't do left and leave right. Do the same to the both of them. Okay, I've gone ahead to do it. Let me now show you how to fold properly for the pockets. Okay, look at it. You fold it inside. Carefully watch this part, please. I'm begging you, watch this part. I promise you will get it, you will understand it. I may not be able to explain it better for you, but I promise that you understand what I'm doing. Okay, fold your pocket. That pocket, you have to fold it into two, the front part of it into two, then you turn it over. Look at it. The aim inside, yes, that place, this place that you're seeing now is the main fabric, the front of the fabric. This is the back of the fabric. Then you turn it inside and keep it. Make sure the upper part of it is aligning. The aligns. The upper part of the pocket with the trouser aligns. Make sure the lower part of the pocket, that is where that notching comes in. Make sure you get the notches correct. After getting it, from that notches, you place your trouser. You can use your pin and hold it down. This is chiffon. If it's Ankara, it will not be running around like this. You use your pin and hold it down so that you get the placement correctly. You hold it down, then you open it up, come to the down part of the trouser, hold it, of the pocket, sorry, hold it down with your pin and the sides. Hold them down so that while sewing it, you will not be confused on how to go about it. This is very, very simple. Okay, hold the upper part of it together with the trouser. Hold it down together with the trouser. Okay, you're going to run a stitch. Let me show you how you're going to run a stitch. You're going to run a stitch straight up the upper part. You're going to run a stitch straight on the upper part of the trouser. Then after running a stitch on that part, you open it up and run a stitch on that pocket side. And down pocket side, run a stitch here. Then after running a stitch, you open it up and run a stitch this way. After that, your pocket is ready. Let me do it and come back and show you. It's very, very simple and very easy to make. Okay, I've gone ahead to do it. See, our pocket is ready. Very, very ready. Ready, 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 like ready. Okay, our trouser is coming together. Sorry that this tutorial is very long, but remember that it's cutting and sewing together, so that is why it's long. Instead of dividing it, I decided to make them together. Okay, and then this is the crotch part. You place the two front crotch part together and run a stitch with half an inch. Remember, you're placing it front facing front, front facing front. You place them together and run a stitch with half of an inch stretched down from the waist down to the crotch depth, but not actually down to the crotch depth. Please, if you're running the stitch, please leave 1 inch mark before the crotch depth. When I get to that part, I'll show you. Okay, please run a stitch straight down half an inch and leave 1 inch mark. Leave 1 inch mark here. You do the same to the back crotch. You run a stitch straight down and leave 1 inch mark. That place we're not going to touch it. This is the back on. You pin it so that it will not move. Please, I and my pin, we are one, no, we are friends. More especially in materials like this, you definitely need to pin if you don't want your work to be scattered and ugly. What I mean by ugly is not being neat. If you don't want your work to be like that, you have to pin. Okay, make that 1 inch mark. Remember to leave it in the front and the back part of it. Okay, I've gone ahead to sew the crotch and stitch it down left to the 1 inch mark. I've stitched the front part also, stitching with half an inch, and leave it like that. Okay, now we are going for the shaping of the trouser. You place the front on top of the back trouser. Remember that the back will be bigger than the front, definitely, because we added all the allowances to the back of the trouser. That is why if you bring a trouser and you hold it very well, not necessarily this one, if you have trouser in your house, bring it and hold it. Even though this foreign trouser, you see that the back is always bigger than the front if you watch closely. Okay, so you run a stitch down from the waist, run a stitch down to the tip of the trouser, then you close the inseam also. Then I'll come back and show you what to do to the 1 inch mark that we left on the crotch. Okay, I've gone ahead to join the sides of the trouser. That's it, I've joined the inseam. Our trouser is coming together. This is beautiful. Okay, see the 1 inch mark that we left? What you do is to place them together. Place them together and run a stitch. That is why when you open up the down part of the trouser, you see that the seam are aligning. Place that crotch part, fold it, place it together. Remember that the inseam on, we sewed it finish, you not leave half 1 inch, but on the crotch in the front and the back we left 1 inch. So place that part together to close it and run a stitch on it so that both of them will not align. You will not have that squeezy effect on the crotch part. Okay, so I've gone ahead to do it. Look at it. It's not squeezy anything. It's beautiful. Okay, I'm turning it to the front part. Look at, I pray that you will see it very well. It aligns properly. No squeezy effect there, even when the person is wearing it. Our trouser is almost ready. Almost. I say almost because we are not added. What is meant is to add the rope and to hem the down part of the trouser, and we are good to go. This is our pocket. Our trouser is ready. Ready. Okay, so I've gone ahead to cut the rope for the trouser. Let me show you how to fold it for the rope. You bring your trouser, you fold the tip, you fold once and fold over again. fold over again because we have not interlocked it. Assuming we interlocked it, we would have folded once. So let's just fold twice and hem the down part of it. I've gone ahead to cut my rope. I cut a little bit higher than the waist, round waist hip measurement. So you use your office pin, safety pin, and thread on the rope and insert it in the trouser. Look at it. I've gone ahead to fold it, to fold my trouser. Look at the rope. I've gone ahead to add my safety pin to it. Look at the length of the rope. Depends on how you want to make yours. I'm going to tie the tip of it. I'm going to tie it so that while wearing it will not be going inside. Okay, and you thread it carefully, thread it round the waist. It will come out in the front. Carefully thread it, the rope, thread it round. Okay, I'm done doing that, and this is the finished look of the waist with the rope. This is beautiful. Look at it. Okay, what is remaining is to hem the down part of the trouser, but before I do that, I'll have to weave, then hem. Okay, this is how you fold your trouser to get the ghetto line. Got it? There is no light for me to iron it and show you, but I later ironed it. When you see it on my mannequin, you'll see the ghetto line and you see that it's very, very beautiful. Okay, so this is the finished part. Finished look of the trouser is very beautiful and is giving. I love this, and I know that once you try it, you will definitely love the outcome. Please like and share, subscribe to my channel. I crave your indulgence. Please, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. Look at the ghetto line. Please subscribe. Look at it. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you all my returning subscribers. Thank you for all you do. Please like, share, comment, and I promise you that you always get value from my videos. Thank you. I love you. Please stay glued to my channel. You always get value. I promise you that. Thank you.